Hi friends, welcome back. So I thought that today would be a fun day for a little planner chat, if you will. I've kind of been all over the place with my planning, so I thought it'd be fun to just kind of, this video has like no direction whatsoever. But I thought it'd be fun to just kind of share the different planners that I've been kind of like hopping through and like my thoughts and my feelings and all that stuff that we kind of go through, especially as creative planners, maybe not, so much like the pen and paper and just go. And, people who don't probably post their planners online probably don't have to deal with all of this self-induced stress. So here we go. So I feel like I started off the year very strongly with like having my Moxie Life and my weeks and my cousin, and then quickly like the cousin and the weeks fizzled out, and then so did the Moxie Life. It was a mess. So like just taking a look at my weeks, which I know people really love seeing like that content where I'm just kind of like sharing my weeks and the plan with me's and how I have like the notes pages set up and things like that. But I have to be like 1000% honest. I can't always just like use a planner because it's what everyone else wants to see. Like I really do love this planner, and as I'm flipping through it, I'm like, well, I should take it back out again. Like here's this current week. Like what is going on? But honestly, I feel like this is too small, my Moxie Life is too big, the flagship anyway, and I just felt really like torn and just like unable to really like stick with anything. Like I love my notes pages in here, you guys. Like there's so much like tracking things in here, and I don't know, just a lot of things that really worked for me. Places to put social media things. Yeah, a lot of monthly trackers. Like just looking at it, I'm like, I need to hop right back into it. But is it ideal for me? Like I didn't even set up my March tracker. I think I started to do some like daily planning back here, and you can see that lasted all of like 2 days. And then I started the April habit tracker, but then like didn't fill it out. So like I just don't know where my head is with this right now. I will tell you at the end what I'm overall thinking for my system, because I really do like this, but I don't know. Sometimes, what gets me back into a planner is just getting a new cover. Maybe I need a new cover. I told you guys, this was going to be a chaotic as hell video. So I do love this one. I actually have a spring start weeks, and I'm like, I refuse to start it. I have got to stay in this one, and I have a lot of health stuff in here, which is why I keep covering it up. But like even the month views, I was using that like minimally, but this is a smaller planner, so there's no need. I skipped over March. March was just a wash for all planning. And then I've got some things in here for April. Got to add a few more things in there, but I mean, maybe that's what it comes down to. Just maybe grabbing a different cover and seeing how I feel about it then, because I do feel like I've been in this since the end of, where's the start of the weeks in here? The end of November. Holy cow. The end of November in my weeks. And I like it. So do I want to finish this is the question. I don't know. This might be a, let's figure this out. I don't love this cover color. I did purchase it pre-loved, but it looks good for all, it's pretty, but it's not like the shade of color that I want. I think I kind of want like an olive green color. Okay, so that's where we're at with that planner. And then my Moxie Life is basically, I love this thing, love the goals. It's like the bread and butter of my goals. It's where, there's like still notes in here from setting up my goals for the year and things like that, like my vision board. Like, oh my God, this is stunning. I think what's going to happen for me next year, and I've even thought about switching it up for this spring, is really just sticking with one of these, but maybe the horizontal, because I do like integrating some journaling. I'm just not sure, but I love the Moxie Life goal setting system. So somehow, even if it's just with the companion notebooks, this will stay as part of my overall system. I just really love it. I've got my annual goals in here. started off strong with some weekly layouts. Like here was one that I loved, and I have a tendency to do this in all planners no matter what. I start off the week strong, and then in the weekend I don't spend a lot of time in my planner. I just don't. Like we're on the go or we're doing absolutely nothing, right? So it's like, do I need to plan? You know, do I need to do these things? I don't know. But I do love this planner. And then I found myself not sticking with this at all. Like I wouldn't do the monthly view. I wasn't doing my monthly reflections. I was like, what is going on? And then of course there was Go Wild, and I stopped touching my planner like altogether. I feel like Go Wild just has this like effect on the community where you're just like, what am I doing next? And so that's kind of where I was at, especially March came along and I just wasn't planning a whole lot in here or at all. It wasn't the planner, it was just me like needing a break from all the things. And I just put this on the shelf, and that's totally fine. But then what I did, because I wanted to keep my goals close, you know, close to my heart and my mind, I started integrating the Moxie Life Undated Daily. Now, Undated isn't always my favorite, but because I felt like so chaotic in my planning system, I was like, maybe Undated is where I need to be. And, you know, while I figure out what my planning situation is, you know, I kind of just busted this thing out and planned a lot of, you know, daily spreads, a lot of weekly spreads, not so much in the beginning because I was kind of using those for some content. But once this week came along and I really started moving into the planner, I didn't put my goals in here because I was like, I don't even know what my goals are right now. But I was really sticking with the daily and obsessed with this. So again, this is where I'm like, I don't plan every single day. I was just like, what do I want to do with this? Because I do love the daily. I did actually set up my quarterly compass assessment, and that was super exciting. And it was nice to see that there was some improvement. But again, I think I really want this in one of the flagship books. I don't fill out the monthly in here, but I have started with some daily spreads in here as well. This just really does seem to be working. I'm not gonna lie though, I just wish it was dated, but that's, you know, my heart's in a dated planner. I think I like skipped a whole bunch and then came back to planning again. I do use date covers from Randy.plan, so I can date this book ahead of time. Yeah, I'm kind of like, what do I do with this? But again, there's always the companion notebooks, which is just the goal setting and not this system right here where it's daily plus goal setting. So that could always be an option too. Then Plum Paper entered the group chat. And this thing pretty much had me pushing everything else aside because one, I love A5 planners. A5 planners are where my heart is. It's just, I love the A5 size. You know, I stuck a little pocket on the front here, along with some photos. These are just some from Go Wild. The pocket is from the Planner Spot. I'm sure you've seen it in a couple of other videos because I have these things everywhere. I love them so much. And I just used vellum from the one of the old Erin Condren planners that I wasn't using anymore. I've got like a couple of extra list pad sheets here just in case I need to jot something down. I just have them always with me. I am just obsessed with how my layouts look in this book. Like this right here is probably one of my like top 5 planners. I just started using the monthly planning, you guys. I never thought I would say this. It's just not for me anymore. It is just not for me anymore. I don't rely on my monthly view like at all. You guys will have to let me know if you're the same. So it feels kind of just like, it feels kind of pointless to set it up and then just not use it. Like what would I do? What would I do with that? It would feel like I'm setting it up for no reason at all, you know? And so I've really felt like this is just the right amount of space that I've needed. And again, I can have this with the companion notebooks if I want to. That way I can still have my goal setting. And the companion notebooks are also A5 sized. So this is what the companion notebook looks like. It's obviously like more of a journal style book, but it's just the goal setting. It does have some monthly views in there, but again, it's probably not something I'll rely on heavily, but I do love these. I'm not gonna lie, you know what would kind of be perfect is an A5 companion notebook like on a coil. coil. So like all your goal setting is on a coil. There's no weeks, there's no days or no daily pages, but you have all of this on a coil. So like the whole year. I don't know, just something to think about, but I really do like this. And I feel like these two, even though this can't really fit back there, but I could easily like, you know, have this with me, and I've got like my weekly together. I could put like a little elastic thing around here. I don't know. This is a strong contender for staying part of the stack, I think. I don't even know. Okay, so there's that. And then of course is like my old bestie, right? Which is my Hobonichi cousin. This one is like the one that I cannot let go. I think if I looked back at my planning styles over the past few years, I never in a million years would have thought that I would be saying that about a Hobonichi cousin. That, you know, this is my planner and I just love it so much and you're gonna have to pry it from my cold dead hands. But that's kind of how I feel about this planner. Like, it's just incredible. And this was like 1 week where I definitely tried to like jump back into it. Like, oh my God, just looking at these pages. It's great. So it kind of gives me what I need from this planner, from the A5 plum paper. Then I also have some dailies in the back, which that is like, it's a hot damn mess back there, you guys. So that's always great. When I was jumping back in, I did some like mock spreads. You can tell these are mock because there's not a whole lot going on in here. It's just very bare bones. Like, there's still one empty week there, and then the current week is empty. Really need to fill that in. So this is something that I have just genuinely loved using from the very beginning of the year. I started putting washi scraps up here, which I kind of love. But I honestly thought about, you know, maybe to just bring it back to a more neutral base. Like, I love it. Was maybe taking this vellum out, removing this pocket, possibly putting like another one of the planner spot pockets, which I know I have an extra one here on my desk somewhere because I was just looking at it, and, you know, just kind of removing some of these things that really aren't my aesthetic. Like, I thought that they would look cute for the moment, and they do for the moment, but I'm definitely more of a neutral person. I don't mind adding some color to my pages, but, you know, let's go to the daily pages. And I do have to be cautious back here because I did some serious journaling, and yeah. So some of these pages I love, right? From February, I did like a lot of journaling intermixed with like, yeah, just photos and memory keeping, and it was just gorgeous. It is just gorgeous. Like, I love this. I did like a little memory keeping spread, and then I just moved on to a super bare bones like Sunday thing. I love doing these sort of like recap videos. I love that, you know. And then I just stopped because March came along and everything got really just hectic. And I started doing some lettering on these pages. If you're on my Instagram, then you will have seen these pages before because I've kind of been sharing some tips and tricks with my lettering, and, you know, how you guys can improve your lettering yourself, and, you know, kind of considering turning this into a whole class, but that's more to follow, friends, more to follow. So I do have like a whole like month and some change of pages that I can play around with. April came along and I had, you know, just some kind of like really overwhelming days. I have like a day here that I did for Easter, and I included some photos. That was really fun. So I have like some other areas. I'm sorry I have to keep like covering them, but like I want to do like this page for when Kayla and I went to SCAD together. So I at least like labeled it because I can at least go back and add the photos if I wanted to. And then I got back to using the pages recently. The way I classically have done so before, except I extended the time all the way down to the bottom. You guys will know, as I have talked about other planners, I wish that the time would go all the way down to the bottom, right? I don't really need all the empty space. And then I created categories for myself, and this just became like what I needed it to be, right? So here we are like on this day, and I haven't gotten to fill out today yet, but I love this. I even added in some washi. Sorry, I'm like way out of camera range, but added in some washi that had come in the mail, and I just, oh man, this might be the one that stays and the rest can just be kicked to the curb. And then I could easily just add in this to the, honestly, it would probably fit in the back of this cover with no issues at all, but then I would have like my goal setting with me, which I freaking love. So that's where I'm at with that. And I've still got the rest of this year to use this book. I keep a lot of, like, this is a very well-loved book, guys. There's nothing, like, cute about it. I mean, the front might be aesthetically pleasing, but the rest of the book is just, this is how I use it. So, this might be the one that stays. Every time I pull out my Hobonichi Cousin, I'm like, this is the one. This is the silver tuna. And if you know what movie I'm referencing, then we can be best friends. Okay, so that's where we're at with this. I think this might be the one that stays. Some honorable mentions. I went down well, I'm just going to throw away all of my planners and I'm going to be a bullet journaler. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Like, I started this little book and I was like, oh, I'm going to put like all my little Randy Dot plans, mild liner stickers here. Not going to lie, this may actually end up being like a little, like just a random to-do list book or notes that I have to take for things, but I don't think that I can set up a bullet journal. And this is a Zequins Classic 360. These books are so cool, you guys. I definitely recommend checking them out. They are actually bound books that can be folded on themselves. So this is definitely more of like a to-go type of thing. I could see me taking this back and forth to work with me as I brain dump things, and then I can like actually put it in my planner as need be. So it could definitely be a companion for this here situation, which is, now that I'm looking up at my viewfinder, I'm like, you know, that's not bad. You know, just kind of bring my little favorite little clip over here and look at that. Problem solved, right? Probably not. Like, even as I was in my bullet journal journey, I bought a couple of like Leuchtturm bullet journal books, and I was immediately frustrated, you guys. Like, I made like an easy title page, just said hello, and the shadowing got on my nerves so bad that I couldn't move forward. I cannot even believe how bad that shadowing is. I'm not really sure where the love for this book comes from. The paper is very cream. And it just, you know, I use a lot of thick pens and markers, and this is not it. So if I use this at all, it would probably just come to work with me, where I know I can get super messy and who cares what I use in it. But I'm not really sure how people use like fountain pens or like anything in here that has any sort of pigment, because man, I don't know if they've changed their paper recently, but this was a no. This was a no for me. The Zequins paper is a little bit better. I haven't written in anything like super heavy. I think this is like what do you call it? Like a Zebra's dry, like 0.5. So it's not going to mark up the pages really bad or anything like that. But I do kind of like this. It will just be more of a quick note-taking type of thing. Since I already have it, might as well use it. But this was a no for me. So I think for now, the ones that might sort of stay over to this side are going to be these, but then I still have the ability to kind of float around with all of these, because this does have like a quick little messy notebook. This has literally everything. I have my goal setting, and then if I want to get super sticker happy, I can jump into my plum paper. I think I think making this video might have been the thing that I needed, that I didn't know that I needed. I don't know. I don't know. We will see. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that also you had like some coffee, some hot cocoa, I don't know what, some tea, while we sat here and kind of rifled through my planner brain. Of course, there's also some other things to consider with planners, like with the EC launch. I don't know if I'm going to use any of those planners. I haven't completely decided. If I was going to use anything at all, it probably would have been a Daily Duo had it come in the canvas line. So when I found out that it didn't come in the canvas line, I was like, I don't know if this is for me. And I believe the only option in the canvas is in 7x9. I'm not even 100% sure about that. More, I guess, will be found out on launch day, but that is like more of the color scheme that I would be willing to use. And if it's not available, then I won't be using it. It's pretty straightforward. So I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me today and just having this little planner chat. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you are already subscribed, make sure you click that notification bell so that you know when my videos are posted here on YouTube. As always, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.